Good morning, my friends. We have some terrible news right now. Breaking. Mikey from SD Fish and Sips put out a mayday off the Baja coast in Mexico yesterday afternoon. His last known position, 8 miles from San Roque, near Bahia Ascension. They searched until midnight, local boats, yesterday, and came up with nothing. The search has resumed. The Mexican Navy is also involved in it right now. Mikey's been a guest on the Freedman Adventures podcast. He's a remarkable human being, a truly good guy, and we can only hope that he's being towed around by a giant fish that he will ultimately conquer. Mikey is listed as lost at sea right now. The search continues. God Almighty, please, please, please bring him home safely. He put out a mayday from his kayak yesterday down there off San Roque, about 8 miles offshore near Bahia Ascension in Baja California, Mexico. Local boats searched until midnight and found nothing last night. Sherry Bondi, she owns La Bufadora Inn in Bahia Ascension, and she said, everybody loves Mikey. We will find him. Dear friend Jeff Lingle, who runs a yacht out of San Diego, is very well connected with government officials, just got off the horn with the Coast Guard that Mikey's 6-horsepower motor failed. Then his battery died on his radio. He was in communication with the Coast Guard into the night last night. Fog is making things very difficult here today, finding him. My hope is, and why I am somewhat optimistic here now, is the fog may just have him hidden at this point in time. Maybe we're going to find him. God help us, please bring Mikey back safe. Hey, good morning, my dear friends. Welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. You know it is time for the morning briefing. However, all of our thoughts and prayers are going out to Mikey from SD Fish and Sips here this morning. He was lost at sea on a kayak yesterday. They searched until midnight and came up with nothing. Fog has been a big problem for finding Mikey on the kayak. He's down there around Bahia Ascension, and there is a massive search going on for him here this morning, and we are praying and hoping he is going to be okay. Now, Jeff Lingle, who is an extraordinary member of the Freedman Adventures family, talked to the Coast Guard and got the following information. Number one, his 6-horsepower motor died on him on the kayak about 8 miles offshore. He then was in radio communication, putting out a mayday and getting in touch with the Coast Guard. He talked to them well into the night when his battery died, and then he lost communication. And from that point on, we haven't heard much. As Jeff Lingle pointed out, at least he was not in the water at that point in time. And our hope and our prayers are that because of the foggy conditions down there this morning, that maybe they're just having a hard time finding him, a hard time locating him. That is the hope. We are praying that that is indeed going to be the case. I'll be covering this story for you all day long, no doubt about that. I'll continue to monitor it for you very, very closely, and I'll keep you in touch with all the latest. In fact, we'll be coming to you live a little bit later here this morning from, of course, 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. So it's hard to really, get too enthusiastic right now, but I'm very optimistic after Jeff shared that information with us. I think there is a really great chance that Mikey's just lost in the fog. They're going to find him hungry and a little bit cold, but hopefully safe and sound. I'll take a little break, be right back with the morning briefing. If that garage door has become a pain in your arse, there's only one man to call, and it's Joe Welker, your garage door man. The tax man, Tim Marquez, will help you net your tax refunds. He's been doing this for 35 years. You can trust the tax man. Make sure you keep your roof watertight with Pelican Roofs SoCal so you can get back to catching more fish. And you can trust Mario Vega with your estate planning. Make sure your rods and reels and fishing equipment go to the right person when you plot.
Get out of bed and wake up the kids, 'cause you know what time it is. It's time for the morning brief. So much fishing until it feels like cheating when you tune into the morning briefing. Inshore, offshore, from the surf, bluefin, yellowtail, pod, surf, perch. They'll tell you where the fish are and what they're eating when you tune into the morning briefing. So give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all the fishing content coming your way. Freedman Adventures is here to make your fishing day. It's a morning briefing. Morning briefing.
And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, make sure you give John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. There's nothing like fishing with Captain Daniel Hadaway on the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing. And the El Patron, headed to Catalina Island every single day out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. Hit that like button. Please share this video everywhere. And make sure you subscribe to the Freedman Adventures YouTube channel. Thank you all for doing that. Really appreciate it. Also, tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting, deplorable little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. You can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Rolling up on another big foamer. Oh, look at the whale right here. Oh, ho, ho, ho. All right, my dear friends, back with you all. Let's get into the latest fishing information. We are hopeful that Mikey's going to be fine. In fact, we are sending out those positive vibes and praying to the Lord above that he is going to be fine. December the 13th, we'll be at 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California. We are asking you to bring an unwrapped toy or two, boys and girls. If you could do one boys and one girls unwrapped toy for Christmas in Mexico, we would love you. And some of that will also be given out in Mexico on Dia de los Reyes. That is the Epiphany, the Feast of the Epiphany, which is a really big day. It's Fan Appreciation Day. We're going to have hot dogs. Thanks to our dear friend Chivo for all of you. And of course, the dog and I are going to put together some great sides, including jalapenos and black bean chili and so much more. It's going to be a great celebration. Richard Hughes will be there, of course, performing music for you all. So it's going to be a fun day. Remember, December the 13th, you're all invited. All you got to do is show up with Paulina. She's driving in from Mexico. It's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 22nd Street Landing. Come on in, take photos, see our studio, have some food. Allow us to shake your hand and thank you for the millions of views we have been getting. All right, I'm going to start you out in Cabo San Lucas, and down there in Cabo San Lucas, two Freedman Adventure family members extraordinaire, and that is Jeff and Kathy Farley. They were recently down there in Cabo San Lucas. They worked out about 35 miles and started following the dolphin. And under those dolphin was an extraordinary amount of yellowfin tuna, and they put the wood to them. They had great fishing for yellowfin tuna down there. They ended up with 14 yellowfin tuna, 30 to 123 pounds. They caught and released 3 marlin, and they also had a couple of beautiful flatheads. Talk about great fishing. Can it get any better than that? Jeff, Kathy, so happy for you. Thanks for sharing that extraordinary trip to Lands in Cabo San Lucas. And once again, I hope I get to see you and shake your hand. And thank you for that great report on, of course, December the 13th. All right, down in Ensenada, 70 miles down below the border, we continue to monitor some really excellent bluefin tuna fishing. You know, you see a lot more fish than you catch, but the show is extraordinary. If you've had a chance to check out what we were doing down there just a few days ago in our new video that we just released, you'll get the idea. Running from bird school to bird school, heart-pounding stuff. Really, really fun fishing. And man, every once in a while you'll hook one and get a nice little bluefin to the boat. Most of that fish we were looking at, like 15 to 30 pound fish, but you see some bigger ones jumping out of the water. It's very lively. The only thing that can screw things up is this fog. The fog makes finding those bird schools virtually impossible. In fact, in that foggy weather, sometimes you'll hear all the birds chirping before you actually see them. So that's one way of finding them, I guess. It's really great fishing. Tatty seas. Foca was catching them. He's Paulina's captain, by the way. He was out on It's For Real Sport fishing with Captain Louis Prieto, fishing with the dog and yours truly. And he loves that Tatty sea and caught, I think, 2 fish on that. Also, those tuna riot poppers work fantastic. Any number of different jigs like Colt Snipers and Daiwasacanas all work really good. And the Promar Deception jigs, red hot on this fish. You can get a 15% discount if you go to promarahi.com and put in FA at checkout. That will get you 15% off, and you get your lobster gear and everything else. Long range fishing's been spectacular this year. We'll be on the Independence here on November the 18th for an 8-day trip. The Freedman Adventures family is really looking forward to an outstanding trip. Can't wait to do that one with you all. There's been great Wahoo fishing down there this year for all the guys. They're on these 8 to 10-day trips down there about 500 miles, and they have been experiencing some outstanding Wahoo fishing. Great yellowtail action and some big yellowfin. There's been a lot of this. You know, there's a lot of that 40 to 80 pound, but there's been really good hits on this 60 to almost 200 pound yellowfin tuna for several of the boats. So the long range situation continues really, really excellent right now. Let's talk about our bluefin tuna fishing. You know, we've got rain on the horizon. You would hardly know it. It's so beautiful here in Southern California today. But once again, we continue to watch this weather. It's been really nice. It's a little more breezy, and it looks like it could get a little bit breezy here this afternoon, but overall we're going to have good weather. Down there out of San Diego, you make a left-hand turn and go down there around Ensenada, sometimes even short of that, and we're finding outstanding fishing down there in that neck of the woods for bluefin tuna. Same grade as I talked about that we were catching, like 15 to 30 pound fish. Fly lining, good hot bait with 25 pound fluorocarbon has been a great way to get a bite down there in that neck of the woods. Smaller hook sometimes it's necessary, like a size 2 hook has been working well. Sometimes you can get away with 30 pound if the bite really fires up. There's some kelp patty yellowtail down there, and there's been the occasional hit of yellowfin tuna, although it is almost all bluefin tuna down there in that neck of the woods. Boats have been doing pretty well. Now, there's been some holes in the count here recently. I don't know if it's the fog or what. And by holes in the count, I mean not every single boat is getting limits like it once was, but hopefully that's a temporary situation. Boats like the San Diego, who leave in the morning out of Seaforth, come back that very same day, have also been getting some good hits in on the bluefin tuna, mixed up with some yellowfin tuna and the very occasional Dorado in that area. Now, out on Tanner and Cortez Bank, boats like the Thunderbird out of Davies Locker, Newport Beach, the Tornado out of Pier Point Landing in Long Beach. Also, up there out of 22nd Street Landing, the Freedom. They've all had great fishing out there on Tanner and Cortez Bank. It has been spectacular out there with limits. Really a viable possibility, if not a probability. It's been good. Most of that fish also 15 to 30 pounds. Fly line on 25 pound fluorocarbon, sometimes 30 pound. You know, sometimes right before the sun comes up, you can fish with a 200-gram jig and get hammered on with regard to the bluefin tuna. So that has all been really great stuff and excellent fishing for bluefin tuna here as we start to push now towards Thanksgiving. Remember, I was saying we're moving toward Halloween and we're still having outstanding fishing, and that is really great news. All right, let's talk about what is going on in terms of our islands, and we talk at the Coronado Islands, few yellows there, mostly rockfish. San Clemente Island, good calico bass fishing, excellent rockfish. A few yellows at Catalina Island, good variety, but not a lot of anything besides rockfish. If you focus on the rockfish, you'll do pretty good, but it's just a scratchy bite on the calico bass, an occasional yellowtail, barracuda, that kind of thing, and some pretty decent hits on the bonito from time to time. The El Patron continues running out of Long Beach for fishing to Catalina Island. Get on the El Patron and have some fun. Channel Islands, really great rock fishing going on up there with lings and reds and anything else your little heart could possibly want from the depths. There's also the occasional hit on white sea bass and halibut up there in that neck of the woods. Every Wednesday, a halibut special trip on the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing, where they have had outstanding fishing. 805-676-3474. And also you can go to venturasportfishing.com to get on board the Island Spirit. The Californian has been running lingcod specials, and a recent one they had 41 lingcod. Great fishing. Avila Beach, Morro Bay, great rockfish. San Francisco, limits of Dungeness crabs and rockfish when the weather's good. It really hasn't been a problem. They run those combo crab rockfish trips, and they've been spectacular. Half, three-quarter day boys out of San Diego. The Sea Watch has been running into occasional hits on big yellowtail. You need 40-pound fluorocarbon when you're fly lining a bait, or you're going to be history. And when you're throwing a surface iron, and there's been some of those big yellows on the surface iron, you want to be fishing 50-pound. They're big, they're tough, and they'll rock you. That's an occasional bite, mostly scoping rockfish, whitefish, up and down the Southern California coast. Here in Long Beach, we see similar kind of fishing, a couple of bass here and there. Twilight bass fishing up out of Marina del Rey can be pretty darn good. That's a thing from time to time, but it's mostly all rockfish. In the Southern California surf, we'll point you down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, where they have everything your little heart desires for fishing the Southern California surf. We, of course, also can pick up anything you need for offshore islands, marlin, Baja, anything. They got it at Big Fish Bait and Tackle. Down there around the Huntington Beach area, a few small perch, biting bar perch, and a few walleye perch down there, occasional yellowfin croaker. Here in this neck of the woods, similar kind of a bite going on with those smaller perch, biting pretty darn well. Every once in a while we'll see a bigger one. Long Beach, few more halibut on the Lucky Craft, or a chrome crocodile, like a 3/4 ounce chrome crocodile is a great way to catch yellowfin croaker and a variety of other species, but halibut will also bite on that quite well. And our very own Doug Tilk, whom we love more than anybody, has helped us so much here at Freedman Adventures and continues to do so, told me the other night at our live show with Danny Cadota, I'm gonna go check out El Porto, El Segundo area for you. And he did just that. 13 perch. He had a 3-hour session, 13 perch. He also had a bat ray that dragged him down the beach. That was pretty darn crazy. And he had a couple of white croaker. So he had a really lively session. He said the perch, you know, like palm-sized perch, not anything too big. And he said the Berkeley Camo sandworm caught every single one of those little devils, including that bat ray that helped Doug get up there around 5,000 steps on the beach as it dragged him up and down the beach. Pretty good stuff indeed. All right, of course, we go back to Mikey. That's where our hearts and our prayers are right now. About, I want to say 3 o'clock, I'll more than likely do a live show from 22nd Street Landing. I'll gather more information throughout the day. We really appreciate Jeff with that inside info from the Coast Guard. That's beautiful stuff. Sherry Bondi owns the La Bufadora Hotel down there in Bahia Asuncion, and I've spoken with her. She said everybody is involved in the search and rescue. She is confident that they're going to find Mikey, as is yours truly. I really believe that he's lost in the fog. I really believe that at some point in time here in the next 48, 72 hours, we're going to find him. God willing, we keeping him in our thoughts and prayers. All right, God bless you all. Take care, and I hope to see you really, really soon. All our prayers, all our thoughts go out to Mikey, his family, his loved ones, everyone who loves his channel. All the Freeman Adventure family members are coming together and praying for Mikey's safe return.